When does your first sip of coffee really count? We think of coffee as a flavor, a morning ritual, but scientifically it's a biological switch. And flipping that switch at the wrong time? It's like drinking a decaf espresso, pure disappointment. Today, we separate the science from the myths to find the perfect timing for every cup. Let's start with the morning. The alarm goes off. First thought, coffee. Sound familiar? Well, that's your first mistake. When you wake up, your body's cortisol, the natural wake-up hormone, is already at its peak. Drinking coffee right then is like shouting at a rock concert. Your body can't really hear the caffeine's effect. Science says wait 1 to 2 hours. Let your natural cortisol peak fade. Then your brain's receptors will be far more receptive to the caffeine. The result? Explosive, effective energy, not just wasted jitters. Research published on PMC even suggests that drinking coffee during your cortisol peak can lead to an excessive cortisol response over time. It doesn't mean morning coffee is bad, but timing is everything for effectiveness. Now, let's talk about the mid-morning snack for your brain. That 10:30 a.m. coffee. It's a hidden genius. By now, your natural cortisol is starting to dip. This is where caffeine becomes the perfect ally. It boosts dopamine, the molecule of concentration and reward. It turns you into a laser-focused, precise, ready to tackle complex tasks. But there's a catch. If you overdo it, your brain adapts. It builds a tolerance, and that magical effect starts to fade. The sweet spot between 10 a.m. and noon is when caffeine best expresses its cognitive benefits without fighting your body's natural rhythm. Next up, the post-lunch slump. That sleepy, heavy feeling after a meal. Does it feel inevitable? Not if coffee arrives to save the day. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors in your brain. Adenosine is the neurotransmitter that builds up during the day, whispering it's time to sleep. Coffee puts a block on that message, keeping you alert. But be careful. Coffee doesn't actually help digestion. In fact, for anyone who suffers from acid reflux, a post-meal coffee can be a boomerang, making symptoms worse. What about before a workout? This is where coffee becomes your secret weapon. A single espresso about 30 minutes before you hit the gym can be transformative. Studies show it can boost performance by up to 15% and significantly increase endurance. It helps you push harder and last longer. But again, dosage is key. The myth is more caffeine equals more performance. The reality is that too much caffeine can spike your cortisol. This not only puts stress on your body during the workout, but can also slow down your recovery afterward. Smaller doses are often more effective. Now we reach the evening. The red line. You might be one of those people who says, a coffee at night doesn't affect me, I can sleep just fine. That's a huge mistake. Even if you don't feel like it's keeping you awake, it's silently eating away at your deep sleep. Science is very clear on this. An evening coffee can reduce your REM sleep phase by as much as 20%. The result? You might get your hours, but the quality is poor. You wake up feeling like a zombie, mentally foggy and unrefreshed. Let's dive into a few things about coffee that almost nobody knows. First, the paradox of sleepiness. Heavy coffee drinkers, those having 4 or more cups a day, sometimes report feeling more tired. Why? Their adenosine receptors are exhausted. The constant bombardment of caffeine has made them less sensitive. It's like shouting at someone who has gone deaf. The signal isn't received. Second, your DNA holds a coffee secret. A gene called CYP1A2 determines whether you are a fast or slow metabolizer of caffeine. Fast metabolizers can clear caffeine from their system in just a couple of hours. Slow metabolizers, it can take up to 8 hours. If you're a slow metabolizer, that afternoon coffee could easily disrupt your sleep, and you might have a higher risk of heart issues from high consumption. And third, your gut has an opinion. In moderation, coffee can be good for your gut health. It nourishes beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria, but as always, excess can throw the whole system out of balance. Finally, let's bust some persistent myths. Myth 1, coffee dehydrates you. This is only true if you drink huge quantities, more than 5 cups a day. For the average person, a cup of coffee is about 98% water. It contributes to your daily fluid intake. Myth 2, coffee warms you up in winter. It's an illusion. Caffeine is a vasoconstrictor, meaning it narrows your blood vessels. This can reduce blood flow to your skin, making you feel colder, not warmer. Myth 3, coffee sobers you up from alcohol. This is incredibly dangerous. Coffee makes you feel more alert and sober, but your motor control, reaction time, and judgment are still impaired by the alcohol. Your liver is still working overtime. Mixing the two can lead to terrible consequences. And what about the big question, is coffee bad for your heart? For the vast majority of healthy people, the opposite appears to be true. Moderate consumption, around 3 to 4 cups per day, is consistently associated with cardiovascular benefits and a lower risk of heart disease. So you see, coffee isn't good or bad. Coffee is a dialogue with your body. If you listen to your body's signals, it can be a superpower. If you ignore them, it can mess with you. The perfect coffee doesn't exist, but coffee at the perfect moment, that changes everything.